My guests today are Shawn Jackson and Dr. Eric Mitchell. Shawn is an up-and-coming entrepreneur as the owner of Upstylish, the new style, as well as Big Baller Services. Dr. Eric is a former orthopedic surgeon, retired Army colonel, and author of The Flow of Life, Keeping Your Dream Alive, as well as Cannabis Sativa, The Truth Be Told, Good Research Equals Good Outcomes. He currently is the managing member of Hemp Commodity Industries, LLC, based in Maine. Today, they will share their story of how Shawn met Dr. Eric during one of the most challenging times in his life and the personal development values he learned from Dr. Eric to help him overcome those challenges. Welcome, Shawn and Dr. Eric, to Living Life with Lynda.
Thank you for having me, Lynda.
And Dr. Eric, good morning. We want to make sure you're there. So just so everybody knows, Shawn is with me in the studio. Dr. Eric is on via phone. And I just want to thank you both for joining me today. And how I met Shawn was actually through a network marketing business called ACN, and met him through Dr. Eric. And honestly, I told Shawn when he came in the studio, the reason he's on my show today is because he is persistent. And I said, you know what, you do have a great story to tell, and I love everything that you're doing and just your vibe and your energy. So I just want to thank you for being persistent, because it's stories like yours that are going to get out there, that are going to inspire other people. So thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's talk about your story. I know you're from Florida, correct?
Exactly. Originally from Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
Born and raised. I came to Maine about 7 years ago. Came on vacation. I had a bad breakup in Florida, and which led to me to come to Maine on vacation. And I was in Lewiston, Maine, with the wrong crowd, basically. And long story short, they wanted me to catch a bus back to Florida. And I was stuck in Maine with one bag of clothes, the pair of shoes on my feet, and no family at all, just me, and no money, just nothing, and just sitting at Kennedy Park in Lewiston, just wondering what to do.
And so how did your paths cross with Dr. Eric?
I decided to get a job. I got left in Maine, and the man thing to do was to get a job, work, and get money, not cry and go back home. 'Cause I would never get nowhere in life. I wanted to grow and grow as a man, and thank God, and I was fortunate to get a job at Hannaford's, where I met Pop. I met him at Hannaford's. I was working overnight. I was throwing cases. I was running up dial, and Carmen and Doc walked in, and he was like, "It's one thing you don't see nowadays is a hard-working man." He was like, "If you ever want to make more money, give me a call." And he gave me his business card, and we've been in contact ever since.
And how long ago was that?
About almost 7 years now.
Wow, long time.
Long time.
And let me ask you, why did you not want to go back to Florida? It just was, you just felt like a calling to do something different?
The death of my mother, losing my mom was hard, and I just wanted to grow past that and grow from that.
Okay.
And being in Maine would allow me to do that, to focus on myself and becoming a better man.
And I know you were homeless for a while.
Homeless for 5 months, 3 years ago.
And did you stay in shelters, or how did you manage that?
I was homeless at the Trinity Shelter in Skowhegan.
Okay.
I was there for like I said, 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working at a Lucas Tree Company. I was boxing, and I was playing football. So I basically slept there. I wasn't there full time. I was just there, at night.
Yeah. And at what point did you decide to take Dr. Eric up on his handing the business card to you?
Since he's been there since day one. He came to the shelter. He visited me at the shelter. He kept me motivated, positive mind. Told me that I got a lot of potential, and one day I just to keep pushing, don't give up. You'll get past it. And he never gave me a handout, and I love that, because there's no handouts in the world today. So
yeah. So Dr. Eric, tell us about the first time that you met Shawn. And stocking shelves, not like stalking people, right? All right. And what was it about him? I mean, I know because I was an ACN, and you're always talking to a variety of people and asking if they're open for opportunity, and you introduce them to the business concept. And not everybody, wants to do anything. Not everybody's open to opportunity. But what was it about Shawn that made you continue, like he just said, go and visit him at the shelter and really just kind of take him under your wing? Well, and also, I mean, with you and your credentials, I'm sure, and Shawn, you can speak to this. What was it like to have somebody of Dr. Eric's caliber, his background and everything, invest such an interest in you?
Doc is a presence. That's all I'm going to say. He walk in the room, all eyes on him.
Yeah.
Like, just being in the meeting with this guy controls the meeting, controls the conversation. He has a lot of knowledge. And, I like knowledge is power. And if you want to learn from the best. And I consider Doc as one of the best guys I ever met in my life. So as the best father figure I ever met in my life. So.
Yeah. Stop it, you're going to make me cry.
Me too.
It's so emotional. I mean, my gosh, the connection between you two, and for 7 years, it's amazing. And I'm so happy that you guys have created such a bond together, and the values that have been instilled in Shawn because of that. And so tell me, Shawn, so you worked through all these companies, and I'm going to tell you, how old are you?
31.
31, okay. So most people in that age group, I will say, are not super, super, super hard workers, okay? I don't mean to classify them all, but you definitely do stand out from the crowd, I will tell you. And like I said in the beginning, the persistence that you have to go after what you want is leading you to what you're doing now. And what is it that you're doing now?
I just want to be great. Like I tell her all the time, why be average? I mean, you could be great.
And he said her because his girlfriend is in the room with us in the studio, just clarifying.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's her name?
Her name is Felicia, by the way.
Okay. So you want to be great.
I just want to be great for her, for Felicia, for my kids, for my family. I want to leave a legacy. It's all about leaving a legacy.
So you have children, Shawn. What do you have for children?
I have a son who's 7 back home in Florida, and I have a daughter who's up here in Maine, actually. She's 3.
Okay. What are their names? Give them a shout out.
Jalen and Elijah. I love you guys.
Love it. What's it like being a dad? I mean, Dr. Eric just talked about, calling you son. What a privilege that is. What's it like for you?
I love being a dad. You're setting the bar high for your kids. You go out there as a parent, you got to go out there and strive for greatness because the kids are sponges. So how you turn on your life, how they turn on your life. So if you go out there being great, you working, getting up, setting an example for the kids, they're going to follow their parents.
So important today, especially.
Exactly. For example, my son told me the other day that I was his favorite football player. Now, he's been to multiple NFL football games, but I was his favorite football player.
And do you play football?
I played 3 years of my life for the Southern Maine Raging Bulls out here in Portland. Shout out to Portland.
Nice. And also, you would mention you were a boxer, too.
Boxed for 7 years.
Boxed for 7 years. Wow. And I had seen a video that you had done online. Your friend Chad had done, shout out to Chad. Chad's actually in the studio with us, too, and he's videotaping this. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And he had interviewed you online. It was on Facebook. And one of the things they were talking about, besides the boxing, is like how diligent you are about getting to the gym and working out all the time. So talk about why that's so important for you.
A healthy body gives you a healthy mind. I'm a firm believer in this. How you treat your body now is how your body going to treat you as older you get in life. So you want to continue to be healthy.
Yeah. And you get up super early to make that happen because you now work for FedEx. And you work long days, right? Super
long days. I work 70-hour weeks, 60-hour weeks, Monday through Saturday.
Wow. And so when do you find time to fit that in?
I make time. I don't find time, I just make time. You make time for what you really want in life.
Yeah. And when do you make the time, though? Tell us what time you get up in the morning.
I get up at 3:30. Felicia will tell you here that I get up and I would just sit inside of my bed and just talk to myself, get up, got it. I know it's early, but get over it. And I get up and just go.
And you go to the gym. Wow. Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't agree with you on your video online. You were saying everybody has to get up early, and I'm like, I don't have to get up early. I do go to the gym, you know, I am working out, but you know, everybody has their own thing. But for you, that's what you do because that's what you need to do. I mean, the hours that you put in. But ultimately, your long range goal is what?
To inspire the young generation, to get up early, because I mean, there's in times in life that we all have to get up early. We all have to get up early at some point in time in our life.
Yeah.
If you're not used to getting up early, you're not gonna want to do it. So that's going to inspire the young generation. At some point in your life, you have to get up early.
That is true. I've had to get up for very early morning flights, like Dr. Eric, to go to see to an ACN convention. And there has been a time when I missed my flight because I didn't get up early enough. And that was not good. I'm just going to say. So, yeah, really good advice. All right, well, we're going to take a quick little break, I think, and then when we come back, I want to dive more into what do you have going on today. I know that you're an entrepreneur. You brought me a really cool shirt and a decal, so I can't wait to talk about that. And then I want to talk more about personal values, Dr. Eric, that you have instilled into Shawn, and what is your motto, and talk a little bit more about your book, The Flow of Life. So we'll be right back more with Shawn Jackson and Dr. Eric Mitchell. 100.5 FM and streaming online at WLOBradio.com. And with me today is Shawn Jackson and Dr. Eric Mitchell. Shawn is an up-and-coming entrepreneur as the owner of Up Stylish, the new style, as well as Big Baller Services. And Dr. Eric is a former orthopedic surgeon, retired Army colonel, and author of a couple of books, The Flow of Life, Keeping Your Dream Alive, as well as Cannabis Sativa, The Truth Be Told, Good Research Equals Good Outcomes. And we have been talking about their story and their journey together over the past 7 years. If you're just tuning in, I'll update you. Shawn was left here on vacation. He came here with some friends, was abandoned, was here homeless for 5 months. Dr. Eric met him while he was working, and they struck up this amazing relationship. And I know Dr. Eric. I've known him for longer than Shawn has through a network marketing business called ACN. And I just know the presence that Dr. Eric is, and all of the values that he has and that he instills in other people. So I am not surprised that you went from being homeless to being an entrepreneur today, because you know, anybody that Dr. Eric works with, really, you know, it rubs off on them. So I'm so glad that your paths crossed.
Ah, thank you.
And I really look at it as the universe intervening.
Exactly.
Right? You were meant for greatness, and
Exactly.
you needed someone to help you get there.
Exactly.
And boom, you know, here's Dr. Eric.
It's just showing potential. You know, people see potential in you.
Right. And that is so different. I mean, so talk about that. I mean, have you come across people that you have been able to instill that, like the values you've learned from Dr. Eric, you've been able to help other people?
Yeah, Felicia, for example, my lady, she hates getting up early. Like literally hates getting up early. But past couple of days now, she's getting up early at 4, going to the gym. She actually's going to the gym too.
Wow.
You know, she's going to the gym. She haven't drunk coffee in a week.
Nice.
So,
Coffee addict.
And you are a coffee addict, and she's not a coffee addict. Ah, that's great. Yeah, I will tell you, I'm going to do a little plug. There's if you like the coffee flavor, I drink Ticino. You can find it online, and it's an herbal coffee. So it's made with like herbals like chicory root and maca and stuff like that, and it's really healthy for you, but it has a coffee flavor. So just a heads up, you can buy different flavors, hazelnut, mocha, and all of that. So it's a tea, but it tastes like coffee. So just a plug.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's a lot. You know, making changes is really hard. Before the show, before we started recording, you had mentioned about, you know, a lot of people. What were you saying about, you know, when you're faced with challenges and trying to overcome them, a lot of people don't want to change.
They don't. You gotta get past that barrier, because your mind is used to being comfortable. Like literally, like if you're comfortable doing something, your mind's gonna tell you to stay comfortable. The minute you get uncomfortable, your mind tells you to go back to being comfortable. A lot of people gotta get past that point, past that barrier of being comfortable, and just be uncomfortable for a second. And you know, you'll see strides. You'll see success just by being uncomfortable just for that second.
And I know that besides what you've learned from Dr. Eric, you listen to a lot of personal development. Talk about some of the people that you listen to the most.
Tony Robbins is my guy. Tony Robbins, David Goggins, Eric Thomas. A lot of those guys are successful now, and they really are successful. They have a lot to say. Talk about a lot about the mind and building self-character, building self-love, self-discipline. And a lot of people in today's society need self-discipline in some way, shape, or form, fashion. Need self-discipline. And if you don't read books, like myself, I don't read books. So I listen to those videos hours and hours a day. Delivering on my truck, I listen to Tony Robbins. When I come home from work, I put Tony Robbins on. I like to hardly listen to rap. I listen to Tony Robbins.
Well, it's interesting because, when I was in the ACN, we used to do a lot of public speaking and self-development, personal development classes. And one of the things I used to tell people is that I'm a singer, right? And I sang in a band for a number of years. And the only way for me to learn the songs, which was amazing to me, like I thought the words were this. And then when you really start to learn the song to sing it, the words are different, right? You make up stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And the only way to get good at it was for me to constantly listen to it. In my car, that's where I listened to the music. And I would constantly repeat it over and over again.
Repetition.
When I got into ACN and personal development, which I owe a lot of my life to right now, of where I am, I learned that. I decided to start making that my mobile library, right? And like you said, listen to it in your car. And if you listen to that stuff over and over again, that's what's going to get implanted in your brain.
Exactly.
Right? And that's how you're going to make those changes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dr. Eric, talk to us about your Flow of Life book, because I know your story, but talk to us if any part of your story was something that you kind of maybe saw in Shawn, and is that one of the reasons why you really wanted to take him under your wing? Is because of things you had been through? Well, I love that. So, I mean, he took you under his wing. He saw something in you. Like you said, you were quick to respond. You were, you wanted the opportunity and you were willing to go after it and commit to it. And it sounds exactly like Shawn. I do not. Do you want to recite it for us? Okay.
If you keep your head. That's all I know.
Wow. That's amazing. And right? I know Dr. Eric has a lot of information to share, and just as a joke before we started, I said, Dr. Eric, you're on the phone, I can disconnect you anytime. But I wouldn't do that because I absolutely love you. But I will tell you, man, you're bigger than life, and we need people like that in our lives, especially people like Shawn that needed a break. And thank God that your paths crossed. And Shawn is doing what he's doing today and being successful in all aspects of life, really. And I'm just so glad that we're able to tell this story today. So we are going to take another quick little break, and when we come back, I really want to focus on your businesses, both of your businesses that you're growing today, Shawn.
Sounds good.
And help you grow. Big Baller Services, and Dr. Eric is a former orthopedic surgeon, retired Army colonel, and author of The Flow of Life, as well as The Flow of Life, excuse me, The Flow of Life, as well as Cannabis Sativa, The Truth Be Told. And now what I'd love to get into, because we've been talking about how you guys met, the values instilled in you, and now I want to talk about, sorry Deb, cut all that choking out. Now I'd love to talk with you about your businesses. So tell us what you have going on and why those businesses.
I love fashion. I grew up as a kid. Growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in, you either sold drugs or you played basketball. And I was never a drug dealer because my grandmother's crazy. Like, Little man young did not play. I had to be home before the park lights came on. So like, drug dealing was never an option for me. So I love dressing. So I looked into fashion, and they always told me growing up that I was like one of them kids that was like one of those fashion kids in the hood, like those
looking flashy.
Yeah, like those flashy hood guy, like
yeah, just kind of became you, right?
Exactly.
Like you were known for that.
Known for that, you know, and being in Maine allowed me to be my own person and grow into it, and just bring my own fashion out because there's not a lot of fashion in Maine. So being here allowed me to create my own fashion and just not only a type of fashion, but it's a unique fashion brand that has quotes on the back of it. So it's going to have like different unique quotes to help people go out and find a better version of themselves. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is just finding a better version of yourself.
And tell us about the logo that you came up with for, and what is your business name?
My business is Upstylish, the new style. That's my clothing line.
Upstylish, the new style.
The new style.
Okay.
And the logo is a lion. I love lions because when a lion's injured and wounded, a lion continues to hunt no matter what. And if a person can have that same mentality, if you're injured or wounded, or if you're sick and don't want to get out of bed, to still push, get out of bed and continue to work. Because at the end of the day, through pain comes success.
Yeah. And on your logo, you actually brought in a shirt for me. Thank you very much. I love it. I can't wait to wear it. And it says "Killing It," right? And then on the back, what does it say on the back?
Knowledge is new money.
Knowledge is new money. Explain that. Why did you choose that?
Knowledge is the new money. I'm a firm believer in that if you read books or watch videos or just feed your mind with knowledge, you're able to connect with more people on a business aspect or level, you know. And
is that what has led you to starting your other business, Big Baller Services?
Exactly.
And so tell us about that business.
Big Baller Services is a type of business that I'm going to use to help other people flourish in their companies. You know, be a connect among other connects, be like a business partner, sort of say, and have like business assistants go out and help other people who have entrepreneurs who upcoming to help them with their business and whatever they need to do with their business.
So give us an example.
For example, I do Felicia, my lady. She has a cleaning business that she wants to get started. So I'll go to one of my connects who I know has a cleaning business already established to find out what's the process, what she has to do, what clientele can she bring in, what are the profits, stuff like that, and I can contact her and let her know.
So it's almost like you're like the in-between, not just connecting them, but you're helping to find new business owners a mentor.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
And so it's almost like you're a little bit of a coach too, because you're instilling certain things and values in these new business owners.
But a lot of people want to start a business or want to be an entrepreneur, but it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur. You have to have that consistency, dedication, hard work every single day, like consistent. You have to just do it and want it every single day, because it's going to be days that you don't want to do it, but you just got to do it. It's part of being an entrepreneur.
And I know the answer is probably different for everybody, but why be an entrepreneur? Why are you striving so hard to be an entrepreneur versus working the job?
Impact. I'm a firm believer in that a lot of people wants to be an entrepreneur because of money. Money is the base level of being an entrepreneur. Impact, which leads to influence. So I wanted to impact the world and influence the world in a positive way. Because right now we in tragedy. A lot of people are killing people, growing up the wrong way. So if I can somehow change the mind frame of a lot of people and just show them that you can do it, you can be different, because we're born the same. Everybody born the same, godly, everybody's the same. But it's just how you want to work it, your mind.
Yeah. And I love what you said about making an impact on the world. And I say that with my show, right? I pay, a lot of people don't realize this, but I pay to have my show on the air. And I've actually covered that cost myself over the past year, because I've just been busy being a consultant, and I take it as a business write-off. But now I want to bring in more sponsors and advertisers, because I can redirect that money to grow more exposure, because my ultimate goal is to have a bigger reach and a bigger impact. So sometimes you have to do some tough things, but ultimately with the goal of having that bigger impact on the world, right? I don't want to just be local. I want to impact the world. What did you share with me about you want your Upstylish brand to be bigger than
Tommy Hilfiger?
Bigger than Tommy Hilfiger. I think that's a really big goal. And right, go big or
go home. Baller Services.
I love it.
Do it big over here.
Oh my gosh. And so, Dr. Eric, tell us, when Shawn told you that he wanted to start a business, or even two businesses now, what was your advice to him? Mm.
You got to have, I write about it in my book, The Flow of Life. You got to have dedication and determination. Otherwise, people have 6 to 10 great ideas every day, but they never materialize because they don't do anything about it. So you have to be able to dedicate yourself to it and go through all of the steps necessary. And all the things that Shawn's doing is regurgitating what he's learned about, Big Baller, about Upstyle. He's just telling you what he's learned, and he's willing to share it. And that becomes bigger in life. And that's why I wrote The Flow of Life, because I wrote it for these millennials. I wrote it for the Shawns and my sons, other sons, and other young people, to let them know that they have an opportunity and a responsibility to make this world better. And we do that by virtue of extending ourselves. Shawn talked about early, getting outside of our comfort zone. Lynda, you and I and ACN have had a lot of discussions about people getting outside of their comfort zone, picking up the telephone and talking to that first person. Awfully hard. That phone weighs about 5,000 pounds, and you can hardly get it to your ear before fatigue sets in, and you say, I'll do it tomorrow. But you know what? Tomorrow never comes. So in The Flow of Life, I go through my basketball journey that allowed me to get to my medical journey. When I graduated from college, I did not unroll my degree. I did not look at my degree because I realized, I put it in the drawer, because I realized it was just a step in the process of becoming a physician. Yeah. Okay, so that's what you gotta have. You gotta have mission orientation. You gotta know where you want to go, and then take all of the benchmarking steps to get to that point, step by step by step. And you gotta be lucky. And like I said, that luck means hard work, and you got to work really hard in order to try to get those things accomplished. And after I was able to do 37 and a half years of operative orthopedics, and I felt so lucky that I felt like I was compelled to write my book, to let other people just like me know that they could do the same things that I did with the right amount of dedication and the right portions of determination. So this is what Shawn is doing now. And I have two sons that are entrepreneurs as well. One's an entertainer in Chicago, and one has his own fitness business in New York, as well as a vacation rental for rental homes. And they have never ever called me.
And I think especially during COVID, a lot of people are really taking a step back and doing some reevaluation about their lives. And I know I have, my relationships have changed a lot. And I'm really choosing to spend time with people who are really healthy, both body and mind and soul. And it's so important. So thank you so much for all that you have brought to the table time and time again, Dr. Eric, and for all that you've done to help Shawn. Here sitting in front of me is this amazing, brilliant young man who is going to conquer the world through Upstylish and be bigger than Tommy Hilfiger.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. Any parting words, Shawn?
I just want to say thank you, Doc, for coming on, being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you for everything you've done in my life, man. I wouldn't be the man I am today if it wasn't for you. And I'm going to continue to grow and be the man that I told you I was going to be years ago.
That's awesome.
And you don't have to look over your shoulder. And so you're doing it exactly what I want you to do. And so Pops is going to be here. Did you hang my picture? Did you hang your picture in your new apartment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely hung it up. Man. I love it.
It's right next to his bed, yelling at him to get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, guys, thanks so much for being here today. And how do people find you, Shawn?
You can go to my Facebook, Upstylish, Up Your Style on my Facebook. Same with Instagram. My phone number is 207-431-6218. That's the business phone. Contact me if you want a t-shirt, business, advice, anything. I'm here. Just give me a call.
Yeah, and I'll upload this show on my website, livinglifeshow.com, and I'll have a link to his Facebook pages and his contact info. So thanks again for being here today, guys.
Thank you for having me.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the interview, and we're going to take a break, come back with my weekly words of wisdom.